Hey guys, welcome to Keller Acres. Today I'm going to be making some savory sourdough discard scones. I recently posted a video on some blueberry lemon scones. They were delicious. So if you're looking for something sweeter, check that recipe out. They were really good. But today, again, it's a savory day. So these are cheddar jalapeno sourdough discard scones. What you're going to need to get these scones going is 2 cups of flour. I'm using all-purpose. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sourdough discard. Does not need to be active. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. A 1/4 cup of milk. I'm using whole, but doesn't matter. Any kind of milk will do. And we need a 1/2 cup of butter. I'm using unsalted. I'm going to be grating this into the mixture. 2 cups of cheddar cheese. I'm actually using Cheddar Jack. And 1 medium jalapeno diced. All right, let's get started. Also, go ahead and start preheating your oven to 400 degrees. And you want to have a baking dish ready with some parchment paper on it, or you can just lightly grease it, have it ready to go that way also. Okay, let's get started. Gonna put our 2 cups of flour into a bowl first, then add in our 2 teaspoons of baking powder, our teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna give that a little stir with my spatula. Next, we're gonna grate the butter into this mixture. You can also just cube it and then use your pastry blender, but I don't know. If you saw my other video, I just kind of like grating it. This is kind of a fun way to do it. It's satisfying. I love watching these little grates of butter go in. But again, if you prefer, just cube your butter and add that in at this point. This just takes a minute though. Pastry blender. Go ahead and start getting that butter all nice and incorporated. Should just kind of start to resemble that pea size. I don't know, I think that's what they call it. You know, if you've done pies or anything, you just want to grate it in so that it gets kind of those little pea-sized clumps, I guess you might call it. I just don't know if I'm saying that right, but if you've ever done anything, you know, if you've done biscuits, anything where you're putting the butter in like this, then you know what I'm talking about. We're gonna have these with dinner tonight. We're having fish, so I thought this would make a nice little accompaniment to the fish, something different. That looks good. Next, we're going to mix in our 1 cup of sourdough discard. Also have some great videos out there on drying and rehydrating sourdough starter. If you're interested in drying some of yours out to have on hand, check that video out. All right, add in our 1/4 cup of milk. Again, mine is whole. Just gonna mix this up a little bit here. Just wanna get that flour incorporated in. We wanna make sure we're not over mixing. So you're also gonna kind of need to use your hands to get in there and mix this all into just kind of a nice, it's kind of like a sticky dough. Just want to make sure I have that flour incorporated before I add in my cheese and my jalapeno. Once we get everything incorporated, we are going to be turning this out onto a lightly floured surface to shape it into our circle. Just so you have that in mind as you're getting ready for that next step. I'm going to be using my pastry mat that does have a hole in it, but I just got on Amazon before I started this video and put a new one in my cart so I don't forget to order that. So on my next video, hopefully when I'm using a pastry mat, I will have a new one, and I will be careful with the next one not to accidentally cut a hole in it. That is nice and incorporated, so I'm gonna add in my cheese. And again, just kind of use your hands to mix that cheese in. I love cheese. Cheese is so good. We're getting there, but again, I can kind of mix this in a little better when we dump it onto our lightly floured surface. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that jalapeno in there and start getting that mixed in. And the jalapeno is gonna make it just look really nice. That green in there. I'm ready to get this onto my pastry mat. Again, the pastry mat's kind of nice since it shows you about how big you want to make your circle. We're going to be doing an 8-inch circle, and we're going to be cutting this into 8 pieces. Just get a little flour here. Don't want to miss any of that jalapeno. Okay, now we're just going to press it out into, like I said, about an 8-inch circle. Just try to kind of even out your dough. All right, to cut this into the 8 pieces, I am using my plastic bench scraper. Cut down the middle first. Cut it into 4ths. And then into our 8ths. There we go. Gonna get this on our baking sheet now. Look like little pieces of pizza. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get this in the oven, again, 400 degrees. This should take around 20 to 25 minutes. We just want them to be golden brown. All right, the scones are out of the oven. They smell amazing. I baked them for 20 minutes exactly. Keep an eye on them because you don't want to overbake them. You just want the bottoms to get a nice golden brown. Oh, they smell so good. I can't wait to taste one. Which one do I try? Just gonna break this open so I can show you the inside. Oh, smells amazing. Kind of has a smell that reminds me of pizza. Let's see. Delicious. If you like biscuits, kind of reminds me of a biscuit, but with that cheese and that jalapeno, so good. Give these savory scones a try, guys. They are delicious. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying our videos. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like.